Waking up early goes far beyond just having the mental edge. There is a spiritual science that is displayed through many different spiritual groups and religions that I've observed and I will be breaking down today. Many people who've experienced success contribute part of it to their daily practices and more specifically their morning routine of waking up early. In the Bible, in Mark chapter 1, verse 35, it says, "Early before the sun rised, Jesus rose and went to a deserted place where he can be alone in prayer." In Islam, the first daily prayer, or the first daily prayer is known as Fajr. And this is known to be one of the most important prayers to some because one, it's the first one. It's how you start your day, set the tone. And also, it's one of the only prayers in the Quran to be mentioned by name. In Hinduism, the hour and 48 minute mark before sunrise is known as Brahma Muhurta. Brahma Muhurta is known for having more spiritually charged energy and more pranic energy available. Prana is very important in Hinduism because depending on how much prana that you have that is circulating throughout your body, it is going to determine the level of your spiritual ascension or your spiritual how charged your spiritual body is, your subtle bodies. We know that we have 7 different subtle bodies. We got your astral body, your emotional body, your celestial body, your etheric body, your mental body. And there are channels which pranic energy flow in Hinduism. And depending on how much energy you're flowing through these channels is going to determine the level of enlightenment you will have, or the level of spiritual attainment or growth that you will have. And this is important because if you study metaphysics, if you understand the correlation between your spiritual growth or your spiritual power and your manifestations or your outer reality, then you know the importance of this. Also, your mind. If you understand the correlation between your mind and your reality, then you understand how important it is to grow spiritually and grow mentally. So the first channel in Hinduism that charges your subtle bodies is known as Ida. Ida is associated with your left nostril. So whenever you close your right nostril and breathe in your left nostril, you are taking in pranic energy through the Ida channel. And the Ida is associated with the moon, and it is associated with the left side of your body and the right side of your brain. The significance of it being associated with the moon is because the moon is associated and has astral energy. The moon emits astral energy. That is why during the full moons, you will notice your dreams be more vivid, and you'll be able to get into deeper states of sleep during the moon, and some of your manifestations may be more powerful. There are a whole bunch of things that are being affected. The tides are being affected because the magnetic pull of the moon. So if you know what you're doing and you can direct your thoughts and direct your energy during these times when the moon is in different cycles, then you are able to align yourself with the moon's rhythm and manifest that way. But you cannot be connected to the moon if you do not have astral or lunar energy activated within inside of yourself. So that is the importance of the Ida channel. The next channel is called Pingala. Pingala is associated with your right nostril, the right side of your body, and your left brain. Pingala is associated with the sun. And the sun is connected to 5th dimensional energy. When you do certain spiritual practices and work with the sun, whether that be through sun gazing or candle gazing, you can take in 5th dimensional energy by doing spiritual practices, setting the intention, and by being aware of this. When you put your awareness towards something, energy will flow through that. They say where attention goes, energy flows. So by you being aware of this fifth dimensional aspect of the sun and then doing certain spiritual practices with it, you are activating fifth dimensional energy within inside of yourself. Once you activate both channels within inside of your subtle body, Ida and Pingala, there is another channel that is activated called Sushumna. Sushumna is the neutral channel in which flows through your subtle body. This is activated by doing certain pranayama practices that, and what pranayama is basically taking in prana, taking in energy with the intention and moving the energy throughout different parts of your body and charging your subtle body. When you do certain spiritual practices in the morning, or even if you just do anything that you do in the morning, is going to be more powerful because, one, like I stated before, there is more pranic energy available. Two, everybody's asleep. So the collective consciousness that exists in this third dimensional realm is going to be higher because everybody is in their fourth dimensional version of themselves. Everybody is in the fourth dimension because most people are going to be asleep. And the only people that are really going to be up are going to be people that are, either working on their spirituality or having some sort of discipline that is already separating them from everyone else. So also another thing that I want to talk about is the veil between the two worlds is thinner. And when I say the two worlds, I'm talking about the third dimension and the fourth dimension. The reason why this is important, because like I mentioned before, manifestation is bringing something or creating something in the fourth dimension and bringing it to the third dimension. So if you are closer to this world at this time, it'll be easier to create something and it'll be easier to bring it over to the third dimension because the veil is thinner. So most people try to manifest in the middle of the day or just at random points, random times. In Christianity, one of their prayers, or historically, they used to pray at 3 p.m. because Jesus died at 3 p.m. and they honored Jesus by praying at this time. And I believe this was done in the 1800s or the 1700s. And we are in a different time period than it was back then. The collective consciousness is different now. We have different technology. We have different frequencies that's being emitted from all of this technology. And to try to manifest in the middle of the day, there is more traffic. There is more disturbances and distractions energetically. I remember I used to live downtown LA. And there is so much, when you have a small area and there are a lot of people and a lot of things going on and a lot of people stressing and doing different things, this creates a certain collective stress or a collective traffic, a cloud or a pool of thoughts and energy that will affect anyone who's in there. So when you bring yourself to a place where there is not a lot of people stressing or not a lot of people thinking or not a lot of people, or maybe not a lot of people is up, it is easier for you to, one, focus, because we are all connected to each other. We are all connected to each other's thoughts, each other's energy. So the reason why you have more power in doing things that other people aren't doing is because you are going to put yourself in places that other people are not, on a quantum level, on an energetic level. So by going to a place where nobody is at, you have access to thoughts that nobody has. By waking up during a time where nobody is awake, you have access to certain energy that most people aren't going to have. So by you giving yourself access to these different thoughts, energies, and frequencies, you are then able to manifest experiences that other people will not be able to manifest, because they will not be able to have connection to this parallel version of themselves or their higher self. And like I said, this is displayed in many and taught in many different spiritual groups and religions. There's also a time called witching hour, which, you know, most people are familiar with the time witching hour that takes place between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. And when you first hear about this, this can be a scary thing, because some people say, oh, I woke up at 3 a.m. What does this mean? Or I woke up at this time. What does this mean? This can mean many different things for many different people, depending on whatever you have going on in your reality. But historically, witches used to practice their witchcraft or their magic during 3 a.m., during, you know, these times where the veil between the worlds are the thinnest. So they understand that their magic is going to be more powerful, because it's more energetically charged. In Hinduism, they talk about pranic energy. And what magic is and what witchcraft is manipulating this third dimensional realm. It's manipulating time and space in order to achieve a certain result. And whenever you're practicing any magical ritual or practice, you are interacting with the higher dimensions. You are interacting with the fourth dimension, because the natural frequency there is higher. The higher you go in dimension, the higher you go in frequency, the more magical and mystical things are happening. So, and also too, you're also calling upon different beings, whether that be interdimensional beings or gods or deities or higher vibrational beings, whatever that may be. You're communicating with beings that exist outside time and space, outside of the third dimension. And they practice during this time because they have closer connection with these beings. They have closer connection with their fourth dimensional self and fourth dimensional beings in general. So it'll be easier to manipulate this reality by interacting with other dimensions. So when you work on your business, when you work on your spiritual practices, when you do anything that you're trying to achieve, it is going to be more powerful, because you're halfway in the fourth dimension. You're closer to that. And that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe.